Welcome back to the 15U championship game. That one finds the back of the net. Let's see the officials as they come together. And you see the celebration there coming from Long Island. So they're able to put that one in the back of the net. Nice look inside. Jaden Stadler out of Woodbury buries the goal. This is the second of our double header here today. This one we got Yellow Jackets versus Heroes Lax 2027 Green. In our earlier matchup, we saw another Yellow Jackets squad that fell by a 1-goal deficit to the Mass Elite Red squad. And if that game was any indication of what we can expect here, then this one should be a pretty good one. Real back and forth game in that one. Again, 10-9 win. Great handle inside off the draw. As Heroes goes into their offensive set. Been super impressed with the level of play so far today. I'm expecting this to continue with this squad. Both of these teams, a lot of talented players. Lay waste to some really good teams on the way here. The call is from the official. Looks like it's going to be a shooting space opportunity here for the free position coming from Sarah Lim at Ellicott City, Maryland. See if she can even the score here. Thinks about the shot, pulls it out. And that's going to be a check around the head. That's going to push her back to the 12-meter, but maintains possession. In the earlier game, we were able to see girls get to the spots that they wanted to on these free position shots. Obviously, when you get to the higher levels, defenders are a little quicker. They're able to get into those shooting lanes, especially from the low-angle shots. Is that one just off the mark from Heroes, but it's going to be a possession shot as they're able to maintain. Murray brought it in as they go back into their offense. Dodging from X. They swing it around. Definitely see a little bit difference in the speed here as the pace is picked up from our earlier game.
Hey, John.
There's a look inside. That one finds the back of the net. Great back cut from Sarah Lim as she's able to even the scores for Heroes Green. But good offensive set. Take another look at it here. Again, just back cut, gets free. Nice little shoulder fake. Good tracking by the goaltender, but unable to make the stop in that tight. Just got to put it where the goalie's not, and that's exactly what she did. So early in this one, we got a 1-1 game. We've got the running clock here today, 4 10-minute quarters.
Chris, you get a sense it'll be similar to what we saw in the 14U championship game, which is lots of trading sides. Maybe not as many goals in this game. It's just one apiece to the first 5 minutes. But when you get to a 6-game tournament and there's 2 teams remaining, it's bound to be 2 of the better teams.
Yeah, I mean, that's the hope. That's why they set it up the way they do. You want to get the 2 best teams competing. Doesn't always work out that way, but both these teams looking really strong early in this one.
So now Heroes Green looking to make it back-to-back tallies. As Chris noted, just about halfway through this first quarter. With the winner hoisting the 15U title, we just crowned a 14U titleist a few moments ago in Mass Elite. They defeated Yellow Jackets. There are Yellow Jackets marred across this tournament, 13U, 14U, 15U. Meanwhile, Heroes Green recovers in the near side corner. Good look at Sophia Murray.
Well, and Heroes Green wanted that ISO look and good defense to knock the ball loose. But we'll see if they go back to that. They're able to get the matchup that they want to try and dodge one-on-one. But obviously success early playing the team offense, scoring off back cut.
Good interior defense by the Yellow Jackets. Pass across for the one-touch feed. It's in. Yellow Jackets could not stop it. Heroes Green goes back-to-back in the later stages of this first quarter to take their first lead.
Well, it's good offense. It looked like she looked off the defender as she's able to make that cross crease pass, and that's just catch and shoot. Emma McCormick able to put it where the goalie's not, but she put herself in a good position to have an open shot there. But that's a great look offensively for Heroes Green.
Draw control number 5 here in this 15U championship game. As Chris noted, the running clock adds a little bit of a different element. Every sort of play is under the magnifying glass. Final 3+ minutes, Heroes Green right back at it off the draw control victory.
Wow, that's a really nice defensive play from Reese Long. Able to disrupt the shot, get just enough in the way to make sure that one didn't hit the frame. That could easily have been a 2-goal lead for Heroes.
Controlled at the top of the box by Graceland Brown. Now inching closer along that left side. Sidewinding tally goes wide. It'll be backed up again by Heroes Green. Clock down to 2:40 in this first quarter. Restart goal line extended at the far side. They'll work it to the near side, all in the back 10.
I think really where you see the running clock come into play is in all the stoppages. What regular stoppages you'd see. Any foul calls, possession shots, and you have an opportunity to take a little bit of extra time off depending on what your strategy is. But when you're bringing that ball in, to take some more of that time off the clock. Looks like we're going to get a free position shot here. But I think this format, lends itself to a little bit of more gamesmanship, as you will, and potential strategy for clock management. It's like Yellow Jackets just content to walk this one up. It looked like that was a yellow card for a dangerous check. Anything in and around the head, it's going to warrant a timeout. So extra player opportunity here.
Final minute, first quarter. Prime opportunity for the Yellow Jackets to tie this thing up by the end of 10. Early tally, but nothing since for the group headed by Jason Stadler. Into the back 10 with number 10 and Molly Hoffman, the Massapequa Park native. Teams out of the hotbeds for lacrosse. The Yellow Jackets from Long Island. Heroes Green primarily from Maryland. Rotation continues, but off target to the corner. Emma McCormick is able to force the turnover with just 20 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Is there enough time for Heroes Green to go the length of the field?
They can get there, but they got to have the ball start to do some of the work here.
Devin Pratt lost it and recovered, and content with bleeding out the final few seconds. 10 minutes down, at least 30 to go. Heroes Green with back-to-back tallies will take a 2-1 lead into the second quarter. You're watching the 15U USA Youth National Championship on Lacrosse TV. We hope you're enjoying the action today for the 2024 USA Lacrosse Youth Nationals at DE Turf. When thinking of your next summer vacation or road trip, we hope you turn moments into memories by visiting pristine beaches, enjoying scenic outdoor adventures, and savory dining throughout our state. Experience endless discoveries in Delaware and begin your next journey at visitdelaware.com. 15U National Championship, the Yellow Jackets and Heroes Green. 2-1 your score, 10 minutes put up on the clock here in the second quarter. He's Chris Marshall. I'm Johnny Wincott. Lower scoring than our first quarter today in our 14U championship game. But again, as expected, through 10 minutes, two of the top teams in the group, it's been tight.
Yeah, and I expect things to loosen up here in the second quarter. You get comfortable, you feel out the other squad, kind of see where you're at. That's what we saw in our first game as well. I mean, you see first quarter, fourth quarter, more of a tendency to white knuckle a little bit. Once you get settled in, you get back to the things that got you here. So I certainly expect the second and third quarters to be a little bit more open.
Yellow Jackets own the first tally. The last two have gone to Heroes Green. Both teams unblemished, 5-0 records. Looking for a sixth consecutive win in just over 30 hours. The tournament that only started yesterday. 3 games yesterday, 3 more today. The quarterfinal and semifinal victories for each of these two teams. And we are firmly into the final matchup underway here in quarter number 2.
With these tournaments, I mean, you forget what that's like, going out there and playing that many games in such a short time. And it's hot, too. I mean, I played in the over 35 last night, and I'm not sure I could play until tomorrow.
Well, therein lies the big difference between the over 35 and the under 15. Recovery time a little bit longer. We talked about it a little bit in the first game, right? 6 games and 30-plus hours for the typical human might not work out so well. These young athletes, 15 years of age, just into high school, the fatigue factor may not be looming as large at this time.
Yeah, and that's, you talk about, you want to win a championship. Somebody from deeper into the roster needs to step up. And, this is the time where you get this valuable experience playing for a trophy. But the third, fourth, fifth option on offense needs to go out there and make a play. And this is where you can, rely on your depth and really be able to take that next step.
Heroes Green looking to take the next step here, which would be a 1-goal lead to a 2-goal lead. We did not have many multi-goal cushions in our 14U championship that went to Mass Elite. That was a losing Yellow Jacket squad in that game. Shot from close quarters, didn't get on goal, picked up by the defense and flipped right to the netminder.
Yeah, impressed with the goalie's positioning too. She's taking an aggressive stance. She's 2 steps off her line, really doing a good job of cutting down the angle. I mean, she's putting herself in a place where she will make a lot of position saves.
But now an interception and a dangerous position for the Yellow Jackets. Unsettled defense down to the doorstep, they score. It is green for Heroes Green, 3 consecutive. And the first tally of the second quarter makes it a 3-1 game.
And it's so smooth. I mean, you see the footwork, you see the body work. It's a really high-level play. Something you expect to see at the higher levels. Nice little face dodge there. Gets free. Championship steps up towards the middle, increasing her angle. Puts it where the goalie's not, right off her hip. That's an extremely difficult save to make. Great shot positioning. That's a textbook play there from the attacker.
So Heroes Green turning the defense into offense. The turnover, after it seemed to have been firmly in the cross of the netminder, Emery DeLawson. 3 minutes into quarter number 2. We head back to the center circle for an important draw control. McNamara could not lasso it free. It's Heroes Green again. 5-on-5 into the offensive third. And again, they will set up shop on the right end of DE turf.
Yellow Jackets spending an awful lot of time on defense right now. Need to get a stop here. They're not pressuring out too far. Content to let Heroes hold the ball up top.
Well, the team leading by 2 and no rush. Hobson through the car wash, could not get it cleanly. Drawn up to perfection by Heroes. And the execution at the final second, not there. No harm done. Restart in the back 10 right now in the form of Carly Capsule.
And you get all of your offensive players there, above the 8, create a lot of traffic, some pick plays. And not only do the defenders have to worry about each other, but the offensive players setting picks. And wide open shot just didn't hit the frame, but that's exactly the way you want that offense to look.
Lengthy possession continues here for Heroes. Circling out in front, defense meets her quickly 10 meters out. And recognized by the nearest official, this may lead to a free position opportunity. Low shot, won't go. Netminder kept it out.
Yeah, big time kick save there.
Merging out of the chaos, again recovered by Heroes Green. Again in the form of Capsule. But for now, the Yellow Jackets have kept it a 2-goal deficit, courtesy of Emery-Tha Lawson. Lots of movement off ball. Meanwhile, it's Sarah Lim. Heads off for Capsule. Movement continues here from Heroes Green. Shot, goal! Bottom left corner. Reese Pascoe buries. It is 4 consecutive by Heroes Green. And now a 3-goal lead with fewer than 4 minutes to play in this first half.
Well, a little bit of a defensive breakdown there. I mean, you'd want to pass her off. She rolls back, a little bit of an overcommit from the defender, creates that big lane in the middle, and Green able to capitalize on it. But that's good recognition of the overcommitment from the defender.
Well, the Yellow Jackets still unable to find a tally since the opening tally. The last 4. Since the first few minutes of this game have all belonged to Heroes Green. A lot of time left to be played. Running clock, it'll continue to tick, but another draw control victory by Heroes when they have been heroes at the center circle.
Yeah, I mean, right now Heroes just looks fresher. This Yellow Jackets team looks tired. Looks like they, have been dropped into a zone defensively. Letting Heroes Green take a lot of the time off the clock here. I think good strategy from Heroes Green. They're taking time off the clock and then they're creating good shots and scoring goals. But they look fresh.
Heroes right back to their office. Right side of the turf here at DE Turf. A lot of teams, a lot of fields. We'll call this one center court. It did another go. Heads on swivels.
Yeah, looks like. Well,
that's Brown.
Yeah, it looks like that one's going to be a call going against Heroes Green, so wiped off.
Well, we'll see if the Yellow Jackets can take advantage. Obviously 5-1, very different than 4-2 headed to the break. And we are less than 2 minutes away from that halftime. Beautiful day for a bevy of lacrosse games here in Delaware. And that's exactly what these teams have done. 3 yesterday, and for these 2 teams, it's 3 today. One of them will be unblemished at 6-0.
Yeah, and we saw both teams in our 14U game score goals in the final 5 seconds of the quarter. So, I mean, we've seen these teams have great awareness, great clock awareness, and ability to finish in tight spots. That's a great save. Good offense, but better save.
So it stays at a 3-goal lead. Big time save along the near side post. Critical ground ball. And It's up in the air, and it'll be a warning to the Yellow Jackets. So maybe no harm done here for Jason Stadler's team, Vinny Grizzetti, Olivia Carner, as they have 40 seconds to try and do some damage before the break. Madison Herr finds the open player, Brantic on the left side. Interior feed, it won't go again. Loose ball corralled by Heroes. Defensive car wash. And the official right there to gift it back to the Yellow Jackets. Right now only 15 seconds to work with. Try and make it a 2-goal game. They will stop the running clock here so that they can set up with 11 seconds remaining.
Well, and I think that's a good rule. It stops the other team from, purposely wrapping players up to take the time off.
Good look at Madison Herr.
Yeah, I mean, you'd love to get a goal here.
Center pointing that offense for the Yellow Jackets. They've got 10 seconds. Far side feed, they score. It's a leaping Adamo. And she beats the buzzer by 2.5 seconds. 4-2 your score.
And that's a great pick out. I mean, you're throwing that pass through traffic. You put it only where your player is going to be able to get to it. Obviously, tall player coming around the back of the crease. Puts it high, keeps it high, finishes right away. I mean, that's a really nice offensive play and a massive goal for Yellow Jackets.
Adamo, the Rocky Point native. Rocky Point High School, which has produced a bevy of talented lacrosse players, especially out in that Suffolk County area. She has made it a 4-2 game. One last draw control here in the first half of our 15U National Championship game. And Hobson gets an opportunity to pad the stats just a little bit. 4-2 your score, Heroes Green and the Yellow Jackets, with a chance for perfection and a big old trophy here at the 15U level in Delaware. We will step aside. Some highlights and halftime action when we return. 4-2 your score, Heroes over the Yellow Jackets on Lacrosse TV. 4-2 your score, the 15U championship game here in Delaware. Joined alongside Chris Marshall, I'm Johnny Wincott. Well, the first goal of the contest went to the Yellow Jackets, but the next four, Chris, it was a Heroes Green flurry.
Yeah, really impressed with the precision of this Heroes Green offense. Yellow Jackets seemed to slow them down a little bit at the end of the half, but I mean, they got to get their offense cooking, and they've been playing an awful lot of defense.
So the 4 consecutive goals from midway through the first quarter through about midway through the second quarter from a bevy of different goal scorers, a good sign for Heroes Green. But in the waning seconds, the Yellow Jackets would end up getting one back. 4-1 feels like a very different score than 4-2, with still 20 minutes of running clock to be played.
Sure, and obviously you get the momentum of scoring right at the end of the half. I mean, you talk about that at the break. You get a little amped up and ready to go. I think, you know, when you're looking at what Heroes Green has been successful at, I mean, you've got some talented and athletic players. I've been really impressed with Sarah Lim and her ability to get her hands free and to get a step on the defender. So I think, you know, you really got to watch the matchup battle and make sure that you're trusting your teammates on defense. And not overcommitting and allowing the system to do what it's designed to do.
Our first game today, the 14U championship, it was a tight contest. You felt like it was two of the better teams that deserved to be there. That was a 6-6 game at halftime, 12 combined goals. It tightened up in the second half. This game was already a little bit tighter in that first half, only 6 combined goals. Do you expect it to get a little bit tighter than that in the second half, or maybe these teams start to get some flow?
Yeah, I think it depends, I guess is the answer. I mean, usually you'd see this one be a little bit more open than the first or the third, but I think it depends on how quickly this first goal is scored. If you see a goal here in the first minute, I mean, we could see 5 or 6 goals, especially if it's a Yellow Jackets goal. But, you know, if we get through 5 or 6 minutes without a goal, then you might not see any. So I think really the pace of this quarter is going to depend on when the first goal is scored.
First second half draw control, drifting to the left. One Heroes player hits the deck, and the ground ball continues into the cross of Heroes Green. And right back into their offense where they spent most of the first half, the offensive third. And a chance at their second 3-goal lead. Those have been hard to come by in our championship games today. Most of the quarterfinal and semifinal games, include the final games, decided by 2 goals or fewer. 10-9 was our final in our first championship game today. Heroes Green on the attack, pushing through, it won't go. May have hit the left arm of the netminder. And with pressure being applied here by Heroes, Yellow Jackets will look to complete the clear.
Well, it looked like that was Lim again. I mean, she's got great pace. You see the first step, I mean, she's coming downhill.
Oh, Davidian, though, the netminder had it stripped. Potential for more offense for the Heroes Green team, and it goes wide. So Davidian, after making a great save, couldn't find a teammate, had it stripped from behind. And now Davidian, the Syosset, New York native, will get it back and try and spring something forward.
Letting the ball do the work. Nice quick clear.
Yellow Jackets could certainly use an early tally here. Plenty of lacrosse left to be played. And if you're just joining us, 10-minute quarters, all running clock. We have seen, though, in the final minute of select quarters, if there are free position shots or shooting spaces, they will stop the clock for certain circumstances. To the back 10 for the Yellow Jackets. Heroes Green keeping everything out of the interior. Cycle continues with Bresky. Tough angle shot, she scores.
That's a really impressive shot. That was good defense. I think, you know, you see, you know, good offense will beat good defense, but she put that shot in just about the perfect spot. It was high pressure. both from a game perspective and also from a defensive perspective. So the fact that she was able to tuck that in the corner after getting by the defender, had the second defender coming right towards her, that's a really high level play.
Julianne Bresky, the Farmingdale, New York native. Used to seeing that color green, but probably wearing it instead of seeing it on the other side. Has made it a 1-goal game with 7 minutes to play in this third quarter.
And this was important draw control here.
Both players leaping to the air to try and win it. And via the whistle, it is awarded to Heroes. And they are coming with speed in the form of Brown. She tips the shoulder and sends it into the corner. And Heroes' green offense never really seems to be in much of a rush, looking for the best possible take. As we get a little bit closer to the halfway marker here in the third quarter. And again, for us, Chris, just another championship game, currently decided by 1 goal, and that one sails wide, almost 2. Stays 4-3, backed up by Heroes Green.
Yeah, and Heroes Green staying patient offensively, and I think that's the right decision. They've still got the lead. When they've gone through their offense, they've created good opportunities, and there you have it right there. Great back cut, excellent feed, good handle, and finish. That's how you drew it up.
Anna Corley is on the board. Anytime you're wearing number 99, it always looks good when you're scoring goals. Back to a 2-goal lead for Heroes Green, 5-3, midway through the third quarter. And really from close quarters, buries it in that right corner pocket.
And that's excellent response. And not getting worried, not getting tight, just going right back into your offense that you know has been working. Find the cutter, create a good shot. That's trust in the process. You love to see it.
Preston v. Murtha. Murtha wins it for the Yellow Jackets. One-on-one near side, beats the defender and scores. Oh, it's a great move by Jaden Stadler. And it's a quick response by the Yellow Jackets. Right back to a 1-goal game.
Yeah, and the footwork around the crease has been so impressive. We saw it in the 14 game as well. But she's able to hold off the defender and tiptoe across until she gets the shot off before she steps in. She's looking for a push call too, but being able to have the body control on 1 foot to keep yourself out of the crease long enough for that ball to hit the net is really excellent work.
Stadler, the Woodbury native in Nassau County, attending Syosset High School. As we told you, these two teams have players really representing 2 of the biggest hotbeds of lacrosse between Long Island and Maryland. Heroes the win. Right back to the doorstep. Defender pushes into the back 10. Play starting to open up just a little bit here in the later stages of the third quarter. Another 1-goal lead here for Heroes Green. Corley had the last one. Sends down to the crease for a shot and a goal. This time Corley sets it all up. Sophia Murray parries. And Heroes Green has the response. It's another 2-goal lead.
Well, I thought maybe she had the cutter like a half step earlier, took the extra step before she made the pass, was a little bit behind her. Great handle. Again, turning to face the goal to give yourself the best opportunity to be able to get the shot off. It's good defense, but she's able to keep her hands high, get that over the top, and find the back of the net. Not a whole lot of opportunity to make the save there in that tight, but really good positioning, both in terms of where the stick is and what she was doing footwork-wise to be able to get that shot off at all.
Well, I think we have our answer. Well, the game opened up. We had 6 combined goals in the first half. We have had 5 here in the third quarter. And there's still more than 2 minutes to play. It is Heroes off the draw once more. And swiftly into the offensive zone. Lots of speed for this Heroes offense. As they will get their particular personnel out there. 2 minutes to play, third quarter. Heroes Green did have a brief 3-goal lead. It was 4-1. Yellow Jackets got the final tally before halftime to make it 4-2.
Well, Heroes seem really disciplined here, too. Both of the last offensive possessions, or at least 2 of the last 3, it looked like they had pretty good opportunities where they had lanes to go to the cage directly when they started going into their offense. Both times they pulled it out, got their correct personnel on, went into their offensive set. I mean, take the time off the clock, trust the plays that they have in the playbook. That's really, really good lacrosse.
Shooting space. Free position shot coming up for Heroes Green. 1:15 to play. And it'll come from just to the right of center. 12 meters out. Off the restart, Heroes decides not to shoot. They'll keep the rotation moving. Time and space working through to defender. No goal. Waved off by the whistle. The Yellow Jackets needed it. Stays in a 2-goal game under a minute to play.
Oh, dangerous pass. Nice handle.
Madison Herr dealing with the defenders. Has some help from Reese Long. Back into the cross of the netminder, Davidian. And she gave it away. 3-on-1 opportunity for Heroes. Davidian kicks out the right shoe. Rebound shot won't go either. Scramble continues. 15 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Oh, Davidian gave it up, but then made up for the mistake. Corley already with 1 in this quarter. Interior feed wound up on the turf. And the Yellow Jackets will survive the furious possession. And it'll be a 6-4 Heroes Green advantage headed to the fourth quarter. 30 minutes down, 10 to go. The 15U National Championship game right here on Lacrosse TV. We hope you're enjoying the action today for the 2024 USA Lacrosse Youth Nationals at DE Turf. When thinking up your next summer vacation or road trip, we hope you turn moments into memories by visiting pristine beaches, enjoying scenic outdoor adventures and savory dining throughout our state. Experience endless discoveries in Delaware and begin your next journey at visitdelaware.com. The 2 journeys for Heroes Green and the Yellow Jackets so far fruitful. 5 wins, no losses. But those journeys will come to an end in 10 minutes at least running clock time. Heroes Green, the 2-goal advantage, but only one of these 2 teams will hoist the trophy and go 6-0. He is Chris Marshall. I'm Johnny Wincott. Another tight championship game, this one at the 15U level here in Delaware. And again, Chris, sort of as expected, 2 of the better teams in the field, and we're getting a good game.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I think the difference so far in this one is just the hero squad looks a little fresher. I think when you're watching games, especially in tournaments like this, I mean, the spots where you really see the fatigue stand out is on both the ride and the clear. And I think when you're not getting players that are open on the clear, that's an indication that they might be tired. They're not able to get away from their defenders. And then vice versa, you see some of the offensive players able to get away and have easier clears. So I think, both of these are really talented teams, and anything can happen here in the final 10.
Still plenty of time left to be played in this one. 40 seconds into our fourth quarter, everything with the Yellow Jackets in their offensive third. Reski is pushed off, and one of the more impressive goals in this game from a tough angle for the Yellow Jackets. The Long Islanders looking for lane. Down low, Bresky couldn't get it cleanly. Whistle, though, comes in from one of our 3 officials, and it'll be awarded to the Yellow Jackets. About 12 meters out, and the restart coming in the form of Madison Herr.
I think this is the time in the game where you see, those players who, can rise to the occasion, can fight through the fatigue and the pressure in a championship environment and go out there and make some plays. I mean, this is where we saw, the best players for Mass Elite step up, and we'll see who that's going to be in this one.
The way that 14U championship game played out, it was really whichever team was going to have that final push in the fourth quarter was going to win the game. It came from Mass Elite. They had a 4-goal run. We've got 8 minutes remaining in regulation in this one. Heroes Green has controlled most of the contest, but again, whoever plays better in this fourth quarter probably wins the game.
Yeah, I mean, you go 4-0 in the fourth quarter. You give yourself a pretty good opportunity to win, basically regardless of the situation.
Her hands off, top of the fan. This is Murtha. She sent it to the near side for Brady. 46 surveys her options. Gets a little bump in the back. Spotted quickly by the referees. So another restart forthcoming here. This is still the first possession of our fourth quarter. It has lasted nearly 3 minutes for the Yellow Jackets. Good to have a last name Brady when you need a clutch moment. Olivia Brady.
Oh, just off the pipe. Great shot. I mean, I think, you see the difference like a year makes at this level. Just one little step and then the shot. And it's very difficult to get that kind of power on a shot like that.
Madison Herr meandered to that right wing. It goes out of bounds at the end line. Backed up in the back 10, still by the Yellow Jackets. It is a 3.5-minute possession to start quarter number 4. They have not found any fruits of their labor just yet. Diving to all fours, the netminder, it did not go. Stays at a 2-goal cushion for Heroes Green, maybe the best save we've seen today.
Yeah, that's a great save. Not only technically, but just in the moment. At this point in the game, you cut that lead to 1 here in the fourth. That's a game changer. So that's massive.
Heroes cuts their way into the offensive zone. They did it quickly, transitioning right through the neutral zone. And after that lengthy first possession by the Yellow Jackets, 4 minutes already elapsed in this fourth quarter. And again, not the first time we've said it today, but Heroes Green in no rush at the moment. They will look for their best particular opportunity, also knowing, well, they've got a 2-goal lead, and they're 5+ minutes away from taking home the championship. Corley, interior feed for a one-touch shot, didn't go. May have had a piece of Davidian. Second chance on the doorstep, Davidian says no again. Potentially a third opportunity here for Heroes, as the Yellow Jackets unable to find that rebound.
That's really impressive. Going directly, the cutters keep coming offensively. They're creating more opportunities. They're taking advantage of a little bit of disorganization on the Yellow Jacket side defensively out of the unsettled situation. I mean, it's really difficult defensively to keep up with a team that keeps coming at you like that in the unsettled. And they did a really good job to send them packing on that possession. But really impressive work from the offensive Heroes.
And it appears as if we'll have our first timeout taken in quarter number 4. Clock showing 4:41 for the Yellow Jackets. Neither team has scored here in this fourth quarter. That's partially, Chris, due to the fact that the Yellow Jackets had a 3.5-minute possession to start the frame and failed to score.
Well, and we've seen some good defensive and goalkeeping play as well. I mean, it was a spectacular save by Heroes, and good defensive play to keep keep them out of the cage on the other end as well. So I think, obviously things tighten up in the fourth quarter in a game like this, but also we're seeing high-level individual efforts on both sides of the ball that's making the difference right now. So it's who gets the next goal. And I think, that's going to be really important in the outcome of this game. Obviously you want to be the team that scores the most, but I think if Yellow Jackets get the goal here, that's a completely different feeling than if you push the lead to 3 with under 5 to play.
They have added 4 more seconds onto the clock, so make it 4:45 to play. This is the 15U USA Lacrosse National Championship game. We decided our 14U just a little while ago. Mass Elite, the victories over Yellow Jackets Majet. Right now it's Heroes Green over Yellow Jackets Stadler. 4:45 separates Heroes Green from the title. And again, it will be a running clock when we get going. Still a timeout remaining for Heroes Green should they need one. And should the referees need to make any actual stoppages with under a minute to play, they will do so. Netminder Bryn Howes, who came up with a couple of critical saves here in this fourth quarter to preserve the 2-goal lead for Heroes Green on that lengthy first possession by the Yellow Jackets. Reski goes past Corley, breezes past Capsule, and into the offensive office for the Yellow Jackets. They need 2 goals in the final 4:30 without allowing any goals.
Yeah, I think at this point of the game, you have a tendency to kind of try and want to rush things, and you just don't need to. So, get good shots like that one, find the back of the net, pull yourself right back into this game.
Quickly to a 1-goal game. Riley Cash is Cash. Number 74 makes it a 1-goal game with 4 minutes to play. Now things start to get interesting. It feels like the game we just had a moment ago.
Yeah, I see what you did there. Nicely done. But you turn the corner, and that's a good shot. It's a good shot placement. It's an important goal. So it's getting through the offense and creating a good shot for yourself and putting it in the back of the net. But I think that's good composure from this Yellow Jacket squad. You don't need to rush. There's time enough to score a goal here, as long as you have the ball on the offensive side. But just make sure you're continuing to look through your rotations, find the best look, gives you the best opportunity to score a goal. That's big time ground look.
Yeah, Zeilman was first to it, hounded by a pair of players in green. So with just over 3 minutes remaining, Yellow Jackets control, chance to tie the game. Now they're out of control.
You didn't even see exactly what happened there. How she lost possession, but she slipped out of her stick, but that's a tough break for Yellow Jackets, because you can take an awful lot of time off the clock here if you're Heroes.
2 minutes and 40 seconds. 1-goal game between the two 5-0 teams, playing in their 6th game over the last 32 hours. Heroes Green out of Maryland. Yellow Jackets from Long Island. Yellow Jackets had the first goal in the first quarter, just a few minutes in. The next 4 came from Heroes Green.
And we'll see who they opt to go with. I mean, they're playing pretty far out. Yellow Jackets are going to have to start pressuring adjacents. They're going to have to start doubling. They need to get the ball back. And, I mean, you see Lim getting in there. She wants it. And she's maybe the best athlete for this Heroes squad. I think.
At the same time, Chris, you think if you're Heroes, another goal would certainly aid the cause. You kind of ride that fine line between, do we go for another goal, or do we just try and lead off the final 80 seconds.
Well, if you can force Yellow Jackets into a bad defensive positioning because they're playing so far out or they're tired from ball chasing, you get a good chance at maybe an empty net. But I mean, right now they're just doing a good job of playing keep away.
Well, they've kept it away for 1:40. They've only got to do it for another 55 seconds. And it looks like maybe a foul committed there by the Yellow Jackets. Clock has stopped, important to note, with 51 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and it also gives the defense a little bit of a chance to catch their breath since they've been chasing, and looks like this one's actually going to be Yellow Jacket ball. So this is a big opportunity here. So great defensive stand, able to get that ball back.
Couple of seconds to take away. They just put him on. Going 53 seconds. Yellow Jackets have to go the length of the field. It starts with Madison Herr. Streaking down the right wing. Into the offensive third. She does it in fewer than 10 seconds. 40 seconds to find the game-tying goal.
When there's still time to go through your offense here. I mean, you got the ball, and 30 seconds is a long time.
Herr with time and space, shooting and scoring. 6-6 game, 25 seconds to play, or is it?
We'll see what the...
I believe they blew it dead before the shot, so it's still a 6-5 game. Herr can't get the shot off. It bounces toward the end line and another whistle. Clock's ticking at the moment. They'll have to stop it, maybe add a few seconds back on. It is chaos now. In the final 30 seconds, it looked like Herr had the tying tally, but apparently a shooting space prior. So take 2, maybe 3. Herr on the move, shooting. This time it counts. 18 seconds to play. Herr is Herr. 6-6.
You could have put that in a better spot. That's just a great finish. Good composure. Keeps her head up. Able to just pin that one in the farthest part of the top corner. Fights through the defense. Does a great job of protecting her stick. Keeping her body between the defender and the stick. Watches the goalie come out. A little sidewinder around her. Right into the corner. That's a big time play. She's got the clutch gene. $18 seconds, still enough time here. Especially from what we've seen earlier today.
It'll be Murtha for the Yellow Jackets. Preston for Heroes. They've just added 2 more seconds. It's 19.8. With a clean win, that is time enough to get an opportunity. Bouncing ball recovered by Preston. Lanky midfielder takes a bump with 11. Physical play after the whistle.
Hard here, yeah.
And a yellow card on Brantic.
She seems disappointed with the call, but that's the right call. You see she's going for a bit of a wrap, but that one came in high and hit her in the face. So that's certainly worthy of a card there.
All right, so now Heroes takes their lone timeout. They will now they've added 1.3 seconds. We told you every second counts. 12.3 to try and find what we would think is the game-winning goal in the 15U USA Youth Lacrosse Championship game. What goes on in the huddle here, Chris? Do you break out the clipboard and try and draw up your best 12-second play?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's opportunity to put the ball in the hands of your best athlete, for me, from what I've seen so far today, I like Sarah Lim, and I think she starts with the ball, she comes downhill. They have to respect the fact that she can get by her defender, and then just start looking for back cuts. She's able to get free, and the defenders don't leave. Take the shot. If the defender comes early, then the offensive players on the backside have to be looking. So maybe set up a pick play on the backside, start Lim with the ball, let her get by her defender, and then hit one of the 2 cutters on the pick play. But I think, like, with this amount of time, you really got to have the ball in the stick of your best player, your best athlete.
Well, our 14U championship game was decided by 1 goal, 10-9 in favor of Mass Elite. Mass Elite won all 3 of their games today, quarterfinal, semifinal, and championship by just 1 goal. Heroes, winners by 2 in the semis, by 1 in the quarterfinal, and they are 1 goal away from another 1-goal victory. Yellow Jackets also had a 1-goal win today in the semifinals, but they coasted through the quarterfinals with an 8-2 win. So 12.3 to decide at least regulation, and if we need more than 40 minutes here in Delaware.
Yeah, but I'll be interested to see how they come out of this. I mean, 12 seconds is, enough time to do something quick, but it's also a seriously short amount of time. So it's like you can't have any wasted movement, and so you got to go immediately. And that looks like what's going on here. It's going to be Lim on the ball. I mean, she's shown that she can be really dangerous, super pacey. So it'll be interesting to see what they have drawn up on the backside here. But I suspect there'll be some sort of pick play on the other side, see if she can fight through the double, and try and get something there immediately. But I wouldn't put it past her to try and split these defenders here.
So Riley Cash and Julianne Bresky representing the muscle for the Yellow Jackets, with a double team surely to come to Sarah Lim. Final 10 seconds. Lim trying to work her way through the car wash. She's free down the right wing. Lim with 4. Dishes. 1 second, the shot. No go. We need more time in Delaware to decide our 15U champ. Yellow Jacket 6 and Heroes Green 6. And if some is good, Chris Marshall Moore is better.
Hey, I'll take free lacrosse anytime I can get it. But I mean, that's about what we expected. And I think, defensively, having the ability to take 2 or 3 extra seconds out of Lim's dodge made all the difference in the world. I certainly think inside you're feeling the pressure of trying to get that shot off because of the clock. And if there had been 2 or 3 more seconds left, maybe you get the shot off, maybe you get a little bit closer, maybe you get a little bit more comfortable on the shot. But I think defensively, getting that third defender in there closer to make things a little more difficult on Lim made all the difference in that defensive stand.
All right, so we go to the extra frame. It'll be 3 minutes. Sudden death for the loser, sudden victory for the winner. And not only sudden victory, sudden national champion at the 15U level.
Well, I don't think you can ask for more than this. We got 2 teams that are obviously evenly matched. This was a tight game, a tighter game than our earlier one. But these teams have dangerous players, and now's an opportunity for someone to step up and be the hero. And I think you have to look at the players that have been getting stuff done for these squads. I think you look at Jaden Stadler on the Jackets side. I think you look at Lim on the Heroes side. Obviously, you've seen stellar play between the pipes for Heroes as well. So, who's going to be the one that steps up and makes the play? These teams obviously have players that have a ton of individual ability, but the team offense has been what's been the key to scoring goals. So, I mean, we'll see who's able to make the play, but I don't think you can ask for more than this in a championship game.
All right, really, as you peer down the scoreboard today, the quarterfinal, semifinal, final matchups here in our second and final day, most of the games are decided by just a goal or 2. And that's exactly how you want it with some of the best teams in the country competing. Yellow Jacket 6, Heroes Green 6, and the next goal means the trophy. Heroes Green, of course, under the guidance of Liz O'Connor, Jay Pasco, Shea Ahern, and Henry Cha. Meanwhile, the Yellow Jackets, YJ Stadler, under the guidance of Jason Stadler, Vinny Grizzetti, and Olivia Carter.
And obviously, I mean, it goes without saying that this is an important draw, but I think it is more important for the Jackets at this point. I think, when you look at what Heroes Green has been able to do when they get on the offensive side, I think, have been the more dangerous team, despite the fact that they've scored the same number of goals. And so, I think the recipes for success at the end of the regulation was, the Yellow Jackets keeping their offense out on the field, taking some time off the clock, and having some timely stops. But, I think that the Heroes offense has been more dangerous today.
Well, it's a brand new ball game now, for all intents and purposes, 0-0. And we are off in overtime in the 15U championship game. On the bounce, it belongs to Heroes. Who will be the hero? Down the right wing, the team in green safely into the offensive zone, courtesy of Reese Pasco.
And I think you're looking, you're looking for Lim, you're looking for Corley, players that have been dangerous off the dodge. Both those players do a good job of stirring the pot on offense. It's going to be Lim on this one. She's obviously excellent individual as a dodger. She's got a lane here, loses her footing.
Lim went down.
Gonna get a push.
Free position shot coming up for one of the best players on the team, on one of the best teams in the country, with a chance to win the national championship.
And that's good play design. They moved all of the offense to the left side, give her an opportunity to dodge to the right, and earned herself this free position.
Lim v. Davidian. Lim couldn't get it to go. Davidian got a piece of it. The game stays alive. 2:15 to play in overtime. Davidian wins the battle against Lim.
Yeah, and it's great, positioning. That's a position save. She cut the angle down. She took an aggressive stance, a couple of feet off the line, and, made herself big.
The big-time Davidian denial. She may need another one. To the doorstep. Ball still loose. Yellow Jackets emerge. They survive the opening possession. And with lots of speed, they're headed to the offensive zone. Her dishes to the left. Defense gets back in transition for Heroes. And now with 95 seconds to play in overtime, Yellow Jackets can patiently wait for a good opportunity.
Yeah, and you like Stadler and Cash here. Cash has been doing a great job of moving off ball.
From X to the near side. Reset top of the box, just outside the fan, with Madison Herr. Down the seam for a shot. Won't go either. Bounces back to the left wing and corralled by the Yellow Jackets. Looked like the rebound was scooped up by Murtha. It keeps the possession alive with less than a minute to play in our first overtime period.
Well, a little extra juice in the step right now for the Jackets. I think confidence to tying that game back and getting back into this has given them an extra kick.
Herr goes cross field. Murtha wins it. Caitlin Murtha on the doorstep. And Yellow Jackets Stadler at the 15U level in 2024 are the USA Youth Lacrosse National Champions.